One of my worst fears is that there's going to be there's not going to be any music that sounds new. And something that I think this is I'm particularly talking about more metal music and heavier music, especially like music with like guitar in it. And I don't know if this is because I'm a musician and I kind of understand music theory. And whenever you understand a bit of music theory, the obscurity or the fascination about how crazy it is, or the feeling for like outsiders, how crazy it is for someone to play music, or how cool it looks and stuff and how cool it sounds. Whenever you know like your scales and stuff like that, and realize that, like there's 12 notes overall in a, not in a scale, but overall in music theory, and you only take 7 of those notes to make a key, a certain key, and it's the same pattern. It depends on how you look at it. You can kind of look at it on a guitar, or actually here, let me bring the guitar over here. So whenever you do learn guitar, you kind of learn your scale, learn your scales. So this right here, that's all the notes that you need to write a song in a particular key. But that key can be played almost anywhere on the guitar, pretty much. So like whenever you see someone shred, they're playing the same notes over and over again, but it looks so incredible and so insane because it seems like there's a million different things that you're thinking of, even though it's just really a pattern. And ever since knowing that, I feel like as I've listened to like metal music, I like people are going to know like the 578s, the Architects, 0, 12, 13s, 10, and stuff like that, and those riffs. And I feel like whenever you hear those riffs, you get to a point where there's nothing really else new, as people kind of do that. And I think there's other ways to play around with it to sound very fresh, like change the drums, change the maybe, or yeah, change the rhythm, change the groove that makes it very funky. But I think we're kind of getting to the point now where I feel like it's kind of getting a bit bland. And for me to find something new, it's very hard now since I've pretty much I feel like, I don't know if I'm very ignorant for saying this, but I feel like I've almost explored everything. Almost. And there's just like certain bands um where they're able to put out stuff that, I don't know, it just feels different, and it just, I don't know, it feels new. And I don't feel like whenever I listen to like some of like Silent Planet's music, I'm not thinking about, oh, this is the 078 riff, this isn't the Architects 0213 riff, but I'm hearing something that I really enjoy. And I feel like musicians, I guess us as musicians, maybe feel a way, or at least I feel this way, that I'm just seeing, I guess, the math problem, I guess. Or what's a better analogy? I'm seeing the pattern and I can't get it out of my head. But for people who don't know music theory, it just they could hear a similar thing, but fundamentally they don't really think about the technicality or what is actually going on. And I think knowing actually what's going on with like the scales and stuff like that kind of ruins music in a way. And my favorite reactions are whenever I can't even imagine like what the guitarist is playing, or what I couldn't even imagine how the guitarist is playing that and stuff like that. And or if I'm not really focusing on the guitars at all, it's there to elevate your experience to extent. Like for example, like Silent Planet, an amazing album that you like, if you guys haven't heard it, Everything Was Sound. that album is centered on Garrett Russell's voice, and the guitars and everything else just kind of complements the voice and makes the voice sound powerful, gives it very cool dynamics, and yeah, and I feel like I don't know, I feel like a lot of musicians need to go into like a whole different road to get my interest. I'm not saying that people need to make music for my interest or anything like that, but I for me it's just I feel like I have to really search to find something that really blows me away. Like the last thing that really like blew me away and I felt like I feel like I've never experienced this before was whenever I discovered Voljarta. And that was like the last experience where I felt like I was discovering something new and something insane. And to this day, like to an extent I can picture the riffs and stuff, but it's so unique and so insane for its time. And it like for this time now. Like how do you even make stuff that is so chromatic and so memorable where you're able to like think of like the riffs or whatever like yeah, like that's like you like Voljarta fans would probably know what I'm singing right there. And it's so weird and it's so different. And I don't know if there's what else is there other than I don't know. There's that's the reason why I'm very excited for bands like Loathe because they did something that just sounds it's simple, but nothing really sounds like it. And it's so memorable. And while you can compare like the styles to like certain bands and stuff, but like note wise, like it's super different and super weird. And I don't know. It's just yeah, it's one of my biggest fears where like I guess if I did stop making reaction videos, I think it would only be because um I felt like music isn't being as innovative or as interesting because they're just kind of doing the same thing over and over again and there's nothing I feel is happening really. I wouldn't say I would stop, but I'll probably be a lot more selective with the music that I would react to. And by the way, like all the like I don't listen to new music on my own time. Whenever you see me upload a reaction to something that like you can probably look on my channel and look at all the bands that I haven't listened to like when it comes to new music. And yeah, I don't know. That's kind of a fear of mine that it's kind of spooky. I feel like there's going to be bands that are always going to be putting me in a whole different place, like Silent Planet, um, Voljarta. But Voljarta, I don't know. They're while I do really like their stuff, I feel like going forward, if they continue having their lyrical content in Swedish words, I don't. I think I would still be like listening or reacting to their stuff, but I don't think I would be as intrigued or into it because what makes Voljarta's first album super insane to me is like the storyline and like like the vague parts that you kind of fill in your brain and the concept behind it. I think it's super cool. But I think there's a very cool concept behind Voljarta's new album, but I don't speak Swedish and I don't think I'm going to learn how to speak or understand Swedish just to listen to an album. I don't know, who knows. But yeah. And yeah, Silent Planet, I think I'm always going to just grow to enjoy him because lyrical content is just too insane. It's too close to home for me. And there's the reason why I come back to Silent Planet. There's times where I listen to their music and I hear a lyric from it and it just kind of applies to what I'm going through or a phenomenon or a topic that I'm thinking about or trying to evaluate my views or how I'm feeling. And there's some times where I just listen and they just kind of hit right in that moment where it kind of makes sense. Like for example, like Iridescent was an album that I thought it was cool musically and I enjoyed it, but lyrically I didn't really get into it. And but this year everything is starting to kind of collide or kind of make sense of like kind of how I see the world, and it's kind of validating how I see the world into some aspects, and it's kind of making me think of things that I wouldn't ordinarily think of, which is good because I'm always learning something new. And as I've learned something new or find a truth or some flaw in how I believe something, I can evaluate it and change it. And that's kind of like my whole thing. Uh, my whole purpose in life is to try evaluate things the best way as possible, and not to try to be right. Well, I think everyone should try to be right, but not pride yourself of being right, and try to do things right because it's the right thing to do, not to stand on high moral ground or your high horse over other people. And that's why I feel like other people are doing. But like I think for example, like today, I was listening, I went ahead, hey, I'm gonna just listen to Iridescent because that's what I'm jamming right now. And right now there's a whole situation going on with me. And I think it's kind of, I think this lyric can pretty much explain like most of my life in the last couple of years. But like the first lines of Translate the Night, I try to speak but some thoughts are too loud for words, my lungs collapse into the cadence of the earth, so read between the exit wounds and everything, alone I taste the spite and translate the night. And goodness, like that's something that brings so much light, or not light, but so much interest that keeps me engage into the music. Like there's like it's just it doesn't really well it makes me want to come back, but a lot of the other music, like it doesn't really. I don't know. Like when it comes to like a lot of thought music, I think it sounds cool, but it's just it's the repeatability isn't there for me, or anything super new that makes me want to listen to it over and over and over again. And I don't know. That's like how I feel about most of the stuff that I react to. Like I want to listen to it. It's not like I'm forcing myself to listen to stuff. But I don't know. It's just like back then, like in 2021, I felt like I was kind of listening to everything that I was reacting to, but now like I don't really want to listen to it. It probably shouldn't be something that bothers me, but I feel like my music taste, or what blows me away, is like narrowing and narrowing with like the majority of things. And I feel I don't get the same like drive or same adrenaline from it compared to before. Which I don't know. It's not to say it sucks, but I don't know. I don't know. Like I'm still going to be doing this, even though like it would be very like music isn't just one cool thing about like doing reaction videos, but seeing what other people's thoughts are or how people feel, and seeing how people like this band translating, or not translating, transitioning to like a new sound or something like that. But there's going to be bands out there where like a selective few where I'm going to be excited to see what they're going to do, because they're going to do something very new or something out of the box that I wouldn't expect, or I may come back later to. Like for example, like lyrical content. Like if you have very good lyrical content and the music is like consistently good, and I can still there if the music I can visually feel and understand to an extent, like musically I'm not really too blown away with it, but if the lyrics there are very captivating and like they really hook onto me. Like for example, Currents. Currents is a good Currents and Invent Animate. Dude, those two bands are insane right now when it comes to lyrical content, especially Heavener. I haven't really went to their like previous stuff. I have listened to it, but I don't really come back to it a whole bunch. I could listen to Great View every so often. But Heavener is just an insane album lyrically, and maybe the best album of this year. I don't know, who knows. Tesseract is I don't know. We'll see how that goes. But as I was saying, Invent Anime and Currents, like musically, you can probably visualize as a musician or a guitar player of like what is going on. But there's lyrics there that really makes you really involved and very invested in it, and it amplifies like the feeling of the music in general. And yeah, there's going to be bands out there that musically it's going to be super insane, where I'm just wanting to come back to it for the music. And there's going to be bands where the lyrical content is so good to the point where I don't really care what the riffs are to an extent. If it's, I think there is a threshold where I feel like it's too repetitive or whatever. But I don't know. We'll see how that goes. um, the whole point of this channel in general is just to put out my thoughts out there, my experiences, and how I'm feeling, so I can look back and see what I was thinking, and stuff like that. And I think I'm probably going to do more videos where I talk about random shit. Probably not like anything outside of music. Maybe every so often, if I have like a thought and I want to hear other people's opinions about it, I probably want to go like political or anything like that. But I don't know. I think I'm gonna make more of these kind of stuff, and I don't, you know, like I'm making these videos for me. I'm not really making it for you. But if you're interested, hey, if you're watching the video right now, like, hey, sick. Thanks for watching. But yeah, I make these reaction videos for myself, and it seems like other people enjoy it. So I'm gonna keep on doing it because I want to see what I will. Future me is going to want to know what past me was thinking in the past, and uh, some of you all want to hear what I have to say. But yeah, I think that's all I really have to say. Yeah, just a warning. I may make more of these kind of videos and stuff like that, which I think I'm doing them because I want to practice, talking and in the camera and stuff like that, and be able to make videos like that. So mainly it's for practice to do like the album of the year thing. So yeah, I think that's all I really have to say. But yeah, if you watch this whole video, thank you. I appreciate you, and yeah, stay safe, and I love you all. See ya.